Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Manufacturing Monday with Colin and with Helen. And this time we are joined by another guest, another IFS royalty. This is Stephen, who is president of our APJ MEA region and is joining us today from his position as the executive sponsor of our IFS Foundation programme. So we will chat to him in just a minute. But in the meantime, Colin, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
Well, it's been really quiet because somebody's been on holiday. Did you go anywhere nice?
No.
Okay. Actually, I, to be honest with you, very little. There's a lot happening in manufacturing at the moment, but I think we'll talk about that next week. Got more important things to talk about today. And a lot of this today is about a country called Sri Lanka. And I thought, I better do some research and come up with a question. So did you know that Sri Lanka actually has one of the oldest flags in the world? It's about 162 BC. And it's the only flag in the world that actually has 3 religions on it. It has the bow leaves for Buddhism, it has orange for Hinduism, and it has green for Islam.
Can you put your notes in front of the screen next time so it's not as obvious when you're looking?
Did you also know it gave us the word serendipity because it used to be called serendip?
Oh.
And
is that right?
that's about it, really. But we do have a quiz before we hand over to Steve. The question is very, very simple. What is this? Not you, Stephen, please, because you probably do know. This actually is the oldest tree planted by a human being around 288 BC. And all I want to know is, what's its name?
Oh, it's the
it's no, don't say it. Don't say it.
I think I know.
Right, back to you, Helen.
So today we're being joined by Stephen, who's going to talk us a bit through what the IFS Foundation is doing. But I just wanted to introduce it really and say it's been about 18 months since I joined IFS, and I feel like corporate social responsibility, or CSR rather, is a term that you hear a lot about, and I think sometimes you feel as though companies are merely paying kind of lip service to it. So from my perspective, I think it's really refreshing actually to work for a company that doesn't just pay lip service to it, that's really, really active, and actually active both for their employees internally and also for communities and the world externally. So it's been, my personal experience over the past 18 months. We've had the opportunity to do a volunteer day, which unfortunately was planned for June, but courtesy of coronavirus has been postponed, but we will do that again. But we've had that opportunity, and also personally at the moment I'm participating in a Challenger Women's Mentoring Scheme that's all been organised around this, and that's really, really exciting, and it's something I've always wanted to do, and so I feel really privileged basically to be part of a company that is so proactive around this type of stuff. And over to you, Stephen. So I haven't given any introduction to the IFS Foundation, so as the expert, can you introduce what it is and why you're involved?
Of course. First of all, good on you for being involved in those programs. That's just fantastic, right? That's these CSR programs that we have. The volunteer day only exists when folks like you lean in and participate. So thank you. You started out with a quiz about Sri Lanka. I don't know. My little known fact is over a third of our employees at IFS are actually located in Sri Lanka. We're the second largest IT employer in that country. We've been there for 22 years now. We have over 1,300 employees there, right? We do research and development in Sri Lanka. We do global support out of Sri Lanka, GCSO, so offshore delivery capability. I think as a global organisation, we rely on our employees in Sri Lanka each and every day. And so when we conceived of a charitable endeavour that we could really focus on as a global organisation, for me, Sri Lanka just made sense. It seemed like, first of all, a great opportunity to say thank you to all of our staff there. Second of all, it's part of our global identity, so it's something that can unite our global workforce. And if you've had the privilege to go to Sri Lanka, I mean, it is a country of extremes. It's a beautiful country, beautiful, resilient people, but there are some endemic issues there, especially in rural and remote parts of Sri Lanka. There's extremes of poverty, and so it feels good to be able to give something back to that particular community that serves us so well.
So what sort of things does the foundation do?
So we set up about a year ago. Our ambition, well, actually, the way the foundation really started out was we've had for the last 10 years, we've had a scholarship program running in Sri Lanka. We've sponsored around 110, 120 students to go through university. People with the right skills, STEM skills in particular, but maybe couldn't afford to pay their way through uni. So we provide a scholarship program where we say, okay, you do your degree over 5 years instead of 3. You work with us part-time, you do your degree part-time, we cover all the costs. And at the end of that, you've got work experience, you've got your qualifications. And more often than not, about 85% of those students have gone on to work with IFS for a period of time. But then we looked at that and said, that's really cool, but for an individual to get to the point where they can take advantage of that scholarship program, a lot of things have gone their way to get them to that point. How could we reach back further into the Sri Lankan wider community and help more people take advantage of that type of scholarship program? So the foundation aims to help break the poverty cycle in Sri Lanka and create more opportunity for people, particularly in remote and rural areas. So 5 major areas: sanitation, number 1. If you deal with sanitation, you deal with a whole bunch of illnesses and diseases that are preventable, and kids get to stay at school, adults get to work and get employment. It's a huge change agent. Access to fresh water, healthcare, building hospitals and related infrastructure, providing better mental health services, school infrastructure, and then finally creating employment opportunities. If you attend to all those 5 things, you're going to get to a point where a community is going to become capable of self-sustaining, and then we can move on to help the next community. Right? That's the idea.
That is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, any funny stories out of that?
Well, it's a difficult topic.
It's a very serious topic, but there must have been some crazy moments when you were painting hospitals or doing some crazy
I tell you what, there was one, and I'll have to send you the photo. So there was a particular family that struck us when we first went out there, and we were given a bit of a tour around, and you're kind of having to meet elders within the community. So you meet government officials and you meet elders within the community to make sure that your presence is okay. And it took a few days of being there. Anyway, one of the tours we came across a particular family, and I saw a kid playing cricket out in in the yard in front of his house. This is one of these. It's very basic houses. I'll send you the picture. You can see it. There's not a lot there. We've ended up actually building a toilet facility for that particular house, improve the sanitation there. But he was playing cricket. He was using a stick, just a stick, and he was using this terrible old, horrible kind of beat up tennis ball thing that he'd wrapped up in whatever tape he could find. But the boy could bowl. So I got out there and we started talking in basic English, and we had a bit of a game. And anyway, I promised next time I come back I'd bring a bat and ball, and sure enough, 3 months later we went back there, brand new bat, couple of new cricket balls to play with. He got me out 3 times in a row. But yeah, he fast seam bowler, and then when he wanted to, he could spin it on a dime. So I guess he's one to look for in the future. That was pretty cool.
Brilliant. I think what you're doing is fantastic, and I concur with everything Helen said. I came from an American style company who really may have sponsored a few golf tournaments, but at the end of the day, I think IFS is special, and I think what you're doing out in Sri Lanka is even more special. I've seen the pictures of you working, and I kind of think everybody in IFS appreciates it. So we can't end up without a plug somewhere. There must be some way the couple of thousand people who might be watching this and their friends could possibly dig in their pockets and give a little donation to help build another.
Absolutely. We're always on the lookout for funds. There's 4 ways that if people want to get involved in this. I mean, first of all, you're right. It's great that the company cares enough. Service matters to IFS. Helping our customers provide better service to their customers, providing better service to ours, better service to the community that we're part of, right? So it's core to our value system, which is cool. 4 ways that people can help: engage, be part of a conversation about what CSR means in your own organization, right? And if you want tips and tricks and ideas, give me a call. Happy to talk. Connect. You might have businesses that might be able to help us in what we're trying to do with the foundation, or people that think they can help us by promoting our ideas. Amplify. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Reshare the post that we put out about the foundation. Get the message out there, and yes, donate.
I could do a Bob Geldof moment here. Give us your but I won't.
ifs.com/foundation. If you are able to, that'd be just fantastic. There's a PayPal link there. It'd be awesome to see a contribution. For me, it's all about perspective, right? Everyone's doing it pretty tough at the moment, but sometimes, thinking about what other people are going through, it affords us a better perspective. So yes, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Over
Brilliant.
to you.
Thank you ever so much. I'll include links to all the relevant things we've just talked about with this post. But yeah, on behalf of myself and Cole, thank you, Stephen, for joining us. And yeah, please do go and check out the IFS Foundation page, which showcases all the great things that we're trying to do with the communities in Sri Lanka. So on behalf of us all,
see you next Monday.
see you next week. Bye.
See you.